My name is Calla Vance. I'm 32, and I've spent most of my life fixing things I didn't break. I'm the number people call when something goes wrong. I'm the one who remembers birthdays, bills, and passwords. Everyone says I'm reliable. I call it being trapped. I work as an operations lead at a shipping company. My days are boxes, spreadsheets, and deadlines. My coworkers joke that my blood type is Excel. They aren't wrong. I like order. It's the only thing that doesn't fall apart on me. My family, on the other hand, is chaos wrapped in perfume and debt. Mom believes everything can be solved with a meal and guilt. Dad hides behind silence and a muted football game. My sister Lyra, she's the storm. Beautiful, loud, and allergic to consequences. If Mom could describe me in one word, it would be responsible. If I could describe them in one word, it would be expensive. Last Sunday, dinner started like all the others. Mom cooked roast beef. Dad sat in his recliner, pretending the game was more important than conversation. I stood by the counter chopping parsley, enjoying the small calm of routine. Before we dive into this story, tell us where in the world you're watching from, and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel. Then Lyra breezed in 20 minutes late, wearing a cream sweater that looked soft and rich. She moved like the world owed her applause. She kissed Mom on the cheek and dropped her tote on the floor. "Do we have lemon water or just regular?" she asked. I didn't look up. "The sink works." She gave me that old spoiled look, the one that said you don't get it. Mom didn't even flinch. "Calla, be nice. Your sister's had a stressful week." Lyra sighed, touching her forehead. "You have no idea." The air in the room shifted. Same old pattern. She made herself the center, and I turned invisible. I could predict every move before it happened. We sat down to eat. Mom asked Lyra about work. Lyra said, "It's draining. I might take a break." Mom said, "You deserve one." I stabbed a carrot and stayed quiet. Dad kept his eyes on the TV. When the commercial ended, he muted the volume again. He liked being present but unreachable. Mom smiled at Lyra like she was made of glass. "Maybe a change will be good for you." I looked at Lyra's nails, fresh manicure, pale pink. She wasn't planning a break. She was planning a lifestyle. "Must be nice," I said. She smirked. "Some of us know how to rest." I laughed once, short and tired. "Some of us can't afford to." Mom's eyes flicked toward me. "Calla." There it was, the warning tone. The one that meant, don't ruin dinner. I shut up. The roast smelled perfect, but my appetite died. After dinner, I washed the dishes while everyone else drifted into the living room. Their voices mixed with the crowd noise from the game. I stood alone at the sink, hands in warm water, thinking about how easy it was for them to need me but never really see me. Lyra's laugh carried from the couch, loud, carefree, perfect for photos. I remembered being 12, saving my allowance so she could buy new shoes for a dance recital she later quit after 1 week. Mom had called me generous. Dad said nothing. Lyra said, "Thanks, you're the best," and never mentioned it again. Some things never change. When the last plate was clean, I wiped my hands and checked my phone. 4 new emails from work, 2 missed calls from Mom earlier that day, none from anyone who asked how I was. As I drove home, the city lights blurred through my windshield. My apartment was quiet when I walked in. No noise, no questions. I microwaved leftovers and ate standing up. Then I sat at my desk, opened my laptop, and started a new spreadsheet. I called it Family Requests. Column A, Date. Column B, Who asked. Column C, What they wanted. Column D, Outcome. It wasn't a joke. I wanted to see it in numbers, like proof that I wasn't imagining the pattern. When I finished logging old favors, I looked at the total. 27 entries in 6 months. I closed the laptop and leaned back. I wasn't angry, just tired. Tired of being the fix. I told myself maybe next Sunday would be different. But deep down, I knew better. In my family, stability was a myth, and I was the only believer. I set my alarm for 6 a.m. Tomorrow would be another day of solving problems. But for once, I hoped none of them had my last name. 2 weeks later, my phone buzzed. Lyra. "Hey, sis," she said, voice bright. "I quit my job today." I froze. "You what?" "It was toxic," she said. "I'm choosing peace. Caleb says I need to find myself again." "Caleb?" "The man who found himself every 6 months with a new plan." I said. "What's your plan now?" She laughed. "Still figuring it out, but it feels right." "Feels right doesn't pay rent, Lyra. Silence. Then she said it, the line that would set everything on fire. "You'll help, right? Until I figure things out." The words hit harder than she realized, like it was already decided. "Help how?" I asked. "You know," she said lightly. "A little money here and there. Just till I'm back on my feet." I took a deep breath. "You just quit your job." "Why now?" "I was miserable, Calla. You wouldn't understand. You like boring stability." I wanted to hang up, but I didn't. I just said, "I can't keep fixing your choices." She sighed. "Wow, you've changed," and hung up. The silence after that call felt heavier than her words. 3 hours later, Mom called. I didn't pick up. Then she texted, "Is greater than Calla, sweetheart, can you talk?" I called back. She started soft. "Your sister's been through a lot. She quit her job, Mom. She needed a break. She and Caleb found this little studio downtown. They just need a co-signer. Nothing major." "What kind of studio?" "A creative one," Mom said. "For her business idea." I rubbed my temple. "How much is the lease?" "Oh, don't worry about that. They just need your name on it. It's not money, it's trust. Trust. That word again. Always trust when they wanted control." "Mom, no," I said. "Not this time." She sighed. "You've always been the dependable one. Don't disappoint us now." Disappoint. Another family code word. It really meant don't say no. That night, I couldn't sleep. My phone kept lighting up texts from Lyra, then Mom, then Aunt June. "Is greater than family supports family. Don't let success make you selfish. You're blessed so you can bless others." I turned off the phone. The room went dark again. At work the next day, I kept hearing Lyra's voice in my head. "You'll help, right?" I could almost hear her smile through the words, like she already knew I would. By Friday, Mom called again. "Dinner Sunday. Everyone will be there. Please come." Her tone wasn't a request. It was an order wrapped in sugar. I said, "Fine, I'll come." All weekend, I kept replaying that phone call. Lyra, carefree. Me, cornered. It felt like every favor I'd ever given had built to this moment. Sunday came too fast. I showed up, holding a bottle of cheap wine like a shield. The house was spotless. Too spotless. Mom smiled too big. Dad sat upright, arms folded. Lyra sat next to Caleb, a binder open in front of them. "Sit down, Calla," Mom said sweetly. I sat. Lyra pushed the binder toward me. "We have something to show you." Inside were printed pages, charts, Pinterest photos, and plans. At the bottom, in blue ink, $150,000. I blinked. "What is this?" "Our business plan," Lyra said proudly. "We're opening a creative studio, photography, design, all of it," Caleb grinned. "We just need you to co-sign the startup loan. You've got the credit score," Mom added. "It's just a formality, honey." Dad nodded once. "You're the responsible one. The bank trusts people like you." I looked at them all. My heartbeat got louder. "If this fails, I'm responsible for everything." Lyra rolled her eyes. "You don't believe in me. Belief isn't a bank loan." Caleb laughed under his breath. "Maybe that's why you're single half the year." The room froze. I stood up. "I'm not signing anything." Mom's voice cracked. "Calla, you've changed." I looked her dead in the eye. "No, Mom." I finally noticed. Lyra slammed the binder shut. "Fine. Don't help me. But when I make it big, don't come asking for anything." I walked out before I said something I'd regret. Outside, the night air hit cold against my face. My phone buzzed again. One new message. From Lyra, "Is greater than. You'll regret this." I stared at the screen. My hands didn't shake. For once, I didn't feel guilt. I felt something else. Something new. Freedom, or maybe the start of it. Then another text popped up, this time from Mom. "Calla, please come home. We need to talk. It's serious." I didn't answer Mom's text that night. I didn't sleep either. Her words, "It's serious," kept flashing in my head like a warning sign. By morning, my phone had 15 missed calls. Mom, Lyra, even Aunt June. When I finally picked up, Mom's voice came sharp. "Dinner tonight. No excuses. I have work," she snapped. "This is family, Calla." I sighed. "Fine." That night, I drove to their house. The porch light was already on. The same yellow bulb that had welcomed me to every lecture, guilt trip, and fake apology. Inside, the air smelled like lemon polish and tension. Mom smiled too fast. You came. Dad was at the table, not watching TV for once. Lyra sat beside Caleb again, the binder from before, sitting between them. I didn't sit yet. What's this about? Mom gestured to the chair. Just hear us out. I sat. My hands stayed on my lap, ready to leave. Lyra opened the binder. New pages this time. More numbers. Bigger ones. Caleb crunched the figures. She said proudly. We can do it. We just need a loan, $150,000. Caleb grinned. It's small for what we're building. You'll see returns fast. Returns? I repeated. This isn't the stock market. Mom cut in. Honey, this could change her life. Dad added. You're in the best position to help. You've always been the smart one. I looked at each of them. Same routine. Same manipulation. Lyra smiled like this was already settled. The bank just needs someone reliable to vouch for us. And if it fails? I asked. Caleb shrugged. Then we try again. That's business. I stared at the $150,000 on the page. If this fails, I'm responsible for everything. Mom's tone softened, fake gentle. Oh, Calla, don't be dramatic. You've always been careful. Nothing will happen. I looked at Dad. You agree with this? He didn't meet my eyes. You're the responsible one. It makes sense. That line again. The family trap disguised as praise. I pushed the binder away. No. Lyra's voice cracked. You don't believe in me? I believe in numbers, I said. And this is suicide. Caleb leaned back, smirking. You hoard money like you're scared to live. I stood up. I'm scared of stupidity, not life. Lyra slammed her hand on the table. You think you're better than us. Mom hissed. Calla, sit down. I didn't. I'm not signing. The silence that followed could cut glass. Mom whispered. You've changed. I nodded. Finally. I turned to leave, but Lyra's voice followed me. You'll regret this, Calla. I swear you will. I kept walking. My heart pounded, but not from fear. From release. Outside, I stood by my car, breathing hard. The night air felt thick, heavy with something I couldn't name. Then the front door opened. Dad came out. He stopped on the porch, arms crossed. You made your mother cry. She made herself cry, I said. He stepped closer. You think running away makes you strong? I'm not running, I said. I'm refusing to drown. His jaw tightened. We raised you better. I almost laughed. You raised me useful, not better. I got in my car. He yelled something, but I shut the door before it reached me. I drove without music. The road stretched black and empty ahead. My chest felt like a locked drawer ready to burst open. When I got home, I threw my bag on the couch. My phone buzzed again. One message. Lyra. Is greater than... You really don't get it. Then another. Is greater than Caleb's talking to someone who knows your boss. I froze. A third message came in. Is greater than... You'll see what loyalty costs. My stomach dropped. She wouldn't. Would she? I called her. Straight to voicemail. I called again. Same. I texted. What did you do? No reply. I opened my laptop. My company inbox had 3 new emails. The top one was from HR. Subject line, confidential, urgent. I clicked it. Is greater than Calla. Please contact me regarding recent reports involving your family and a potential conflict of interest. We need clarification by tomorrow morning. I stared at the screen. My hands went cold. Lyra had done something, and I was about to find out what. I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that HR email. By morning, I was already dressed, sitting on the couch, phone in hand. No new messages, no apology, nothing. At 8 a.m. I walked into work early. My boss, Dana, was in her office, door open. She looked up fast when she saw me. Calla, she said carefully, come in. That tone measured, polite, dangerous. I sat down. She folded her hands. We got an anonymous message last night. Someone said you've been using company contacts to get funding for a family business. I froze. That's not true. She nodded slowly. I figured. But the email included your sister's name, your job title, and a link to a GoFundMe page for a creative studio. I swallowed hard. She used my name. Dana sighed. I already sent it to legal. But Calla Corporate doesn't care about family drama. If your name's on it, It's on you. I sat there, pulse pounding. My whole career years of late nights, weekends, reliability now tangled in my sister's chaos. Dana looked at me. Fix it fast. I left her office before my voice could crack. Back at my desk, I typed Lyra Vance Studio into Google. It popped up instantly. There it was, her photo with Caleb, arms around each other, smiling under a banner that said, Vance Creative funded by my amazing sister, Kala. My stomach turned. She dragged me into her mess publicly. I called her. Straight to voicemail. Again. Next call, Mom. She answered on the first ring. Sweetheart, I was just about to call you. Did you know about this? I asked. She hesitated. Lyra just wanted to show she's grateful. By getting me fired? I snapped. Don't be so dramatic. It's just a post. I laughed bitterly. You don't understand how jobs work, Mom. Family comes first, Kala. Then why do I always come last? Click. She hung up. I sat there staring at the phone, shaking. For years I'd been the buffer, the calm one, the responsible one, the fixer. But this time, I felt something break. I opened my email and typed fast. Is greater than Dana. I've handled the situation. It won't happen again. Kala. Then I called a lawyer. I didn't care about being nice anymore. By afternoon the post was gone, but screenshots were already floating around. The damage was done. At lunch, my coworker Jen leaned over. Hey, I saw something online, was that your sister? I forced a smile. Yeah. Long story. She nodded awkwardly. You okay? No, but I said yes anyway. After work I went home. The apartment felt smaller, like the walls had moved in. My phone buzzed again, Mom. I ignored it. Then she called again. And again. Finally, I answered. What? Her voice was tight. Your sister's upset. She said you threatened legal action. Is that true? Yes, I said. Because she used my name illegally. Mom gasped. How could you do that to family? I laughed. How could she risk my job? Mom didn't respond. Just said, we're having a family meeting tonight. Don't be late. I hung up without answering. I didn't plan to go, but something in me wanted closure or war. I wasn't sure which. When I arrived, the house was quiet. The lights were low. Everyone was waiting at the table. Lyra looked puffy-eyed, like she'd been crying. Caleb sat beside her, arms crossed. Mom spoke first. Kala, we need peace in this family. I said nothing. Lyra whispered, I didn't mean for it to go that far. You put my career at risk, I said. You crossed a line you can't uncross. She sniffed. I just wanted to prove I could do something. By dragging me down with you? Caleb leaned forward. You're overreacting. It's not like you lost your job. I turned to him. Not yet. He smirked. Then stop acting like a victim. Before I could answer, Dad slammed his hand on the table. Enough. Everyone went silent. He glared at me. You think you're better than us because you make money and follow rules. But family isn't a job, Kala. You don't clock out. I stared at him. Maybe I should. Mom's voice broke. If you walk away, don't come to Thanksgiving. I almost laughed. Promise? Then I turned to leave. Lyra whispered behind me. You'll regret this, Kala. You always do. I didn't look back. That night, I went home shaking. I opened my laptop. There it was, an offer email I'd ignored for weeks. A job in Dublin. New life. New country. No strings. I hovered over the word, accept. My hand trembled. My phone buzzed again, another call from Mom. I stared at it ringing, then clicked, accept on the email instead. The chime was soft, final. The screen flashed. Congratulations. Your transfer request has been approved. My phone buzzed one more time. This time it wasn't Mom. It was Dana. Is greater than Kala. We need to talk about what happened today. Come in early tomorrow. I exhaled slowly. Maybe it wasn't over yet. Dana's message sat on my screen all night. Come in early tomorrow. It replayed in my head until morning. At 6 a.m. I was already dressed. Hair tied back, eyes wide open. I didn't eat, didn't check my phone, just drove in silence. When I got to work, Dana was waiting in her office. She didn't smile. Close the door, she said. I did. She looked tired. Corporate saw the post before you got it taken down. They're investigating whether you used company contacts for outside funding. I said quickly. I didn't. I know, she said. But they want proof. You'll be on leave until this clears up. The floor dropped out beneath me. Leave? Paid for now, she said quietly. Calla, I'm sorry. That was it. My job, my one piece of stability gone in a 2-minute talk. I left the office numb. Outside, the air felt heavier than usual. I sat in my car, staring at the steering wheel, fighting the urge to scream. My phone buzzed again. Lyra. I ignored it. Then Mom called. Ignored that too. By noon, they were both at my apartment door, knocking hard. Calla, open up, Mom shouted. I didn't move. Then I heard Lyra's voice smaller, shaking. Please, just talk to me. I opened the door. They both looked worn out. Mom's face red from crying, Lyra's eyes swollen. Lyra started first. I didn't mean for this to happen. Caleb sent the email. He said it'd scare you into helping. My chest tightened. He what? She nodded fast. He said you'd cave if you thought you'd lose your job. I swear I didn't know he'd actually contact your company. Mom jumped in. We already told him to leave. They broke up last night. I stared at Lyra. And now what? You think that fixes it? She shook her head. No. I wanted to apologize. Her voice cracked. For the first time in years, she sounded real. Not dramatic. Not manipulative. Just scared. I didn't say anything. Mom stepped closer. You can fix this, Calla. You always fix things. That line again. It hit harder this time. No, I said quietly. Not anymore. Lyra looked at me confused. What do you mean? I mean I'm done cleaning up other people's messes. You, Mom, Dad, all of it. Mom blinked. You're being cruel. I'm being clear. I grabbed the folder from the counter, the one with my Dublin paperwork, set it on the table. I'm moving, I said. Mom gasped. You can't. I already did, Lyra whispered. When? Soon. The silence that followed was long and heavy. Then Mom said it. If you leave, don't come back. I looked her in the eye. That's the point. She started crying. Lyra joined her. I stood there, emotionless. Years of guilt, just gone. They left eventually. I didn't walk them out. When the door shut, I sat on the couch, heart racing. My hands were shaking, but not from fear this time. From relief. I opened my laptop and started typing. Exit plan. Transfer savings. Book flight. Change number. Cut ties. Each line felt lighter. That night I got a text from an unknown number. Is greater than you think you've won. No name. But I knew the tone. Caleb. Is greater than you ruined her life. She's all I had. I didn't reply. Another text came through. Is greater than you'll pay for this. I blocked the number. I sat in silence for a long time. Then I stood, went to my desk, and printed my flight confirmation. Tomorrow, 10:40 a.m., Dublin. I packed one suitcase, clothes, laptop, passport. Before bed, I got one last message, this time from Dana. Is greater than Calla. I spoke with legal. Turns out the email to corporate came from Caleb's address. You're cleared. Come back when you're ready. My eyes burned. Relief, disbelief, everything at once. I typed back. Is greater than. Thank you. I'll let you know, but I already knew. I wasn't coming back. At sunrise, I left for the airport. My phone buzzed nonstop. Mom. Lyra. Unknown numbers, but I didn't look. At security, I put my phone face down in a tray. It lit up one last time. A voicemail. The screen showed Lyra's name. I hesitated, then pressed play. Her voice was calm. Too calm. Calla, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for everything. I'm proud of you. I hope you find peace. Tell Mom I love her. My throat closed. No. I called back instantly. Straight to voicemail. Called again. Same. I turned around, running back toward the exit. But the announcement hit over the speakers. Final boarding call for Flight 227 to Dublin. I froze, heart pounding. The phone in my hand went dark. If this story touched you, subscribe for more real stories that stay with you. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I read every single one.